Hi everybody, Tony Evans here. Just wanted to hop on and just chat real quick about the myth around cats and vomiting. Is that normal? We'll talk about it. So if you guys have any questions while we're going along, just plop them in the comments and I will try to address them. And give me a shout out if you're watching. So again, my name's Tony. A lot of you guys probably already know me, but I was a vet med as a pet nurse for over 10 years. I don't know the exact amount of time, long time. And I've done a lot, particularly with cats, but cats and dogs, small animals, things like that, and big focus on holistic medicine, as well as diet, nutrition, supplementation, those kinds of things. And a lot of me talking about vomiting cats is coming from my own personal experience. So what is the most common myth about cats? The most common myth that I hear all the time: it's normal for cats to vomit. That's what they do. They're cats. They vomit. They throw up. Or, my other favorite one is, the cat is vomiting because it's mad at me. So, the cat gets mad at you and goes and throws up on your pillow, right? Yeah, okay, so myth, not fact. That is no more normal for a cat to vomit than it is for you or I to vomit. There's a reason for it, and we need to figure it out. If a cat vomits more than once a month, there's a reason to be concerned, and figure out what is going on. So, story time, my own personal story. So my partner Crystal and I, we've lived together for many years. The flashback, God, probably 8 years ago. I don't know. It was a while ago. And I was working a lot of hours. I was not home very often, but my partner was. Crystal was home a lot with the cats. And so, come to find out that for about a year, the cats had been vomiting daily, sometimes more than once a day. And she was just cleaning it up. And when kind of push came to shove about all that and tried to figure out, what's going on with these cats, how long have they been vomiting and things, when brought them into work to, get things looked at. And she says, well, yeah, but they're cats. That's normal. That's what they do. So I didn't know for a very long time. And then had to address it. So hopefully we can stop the myth. It's a myth. Cats should not vomit. It's not normal. Not okay. Definitely not a good thing. And we talk about the most common reasons why kitties vomit. The most common reasons being is they're not getting the right diet. Whether that is all that's occurring or that's leading to some other issues that are causing an increase in vomiting. So, again, I didn't always know what I know now. Growing up, we always fed our cats. You go to the grocery store and you buy kibble, kitty kibble, and you throw it in a bowl, and that's what you do. That's how you feed a cat. And so growing up, that's how it was, and that's what I continued into adulthood. My cats ate Friskies or Purina, kibble, stuff at the store, and then, through my education process, started learning a little bit about food, so then upping to higher quality kibble. But let's get cut to the short of it here. The biggest issue with our foods that we're feeding these guys, we're feeding a diet that is easy and convenient for us, but it's nothing their bodies are able to process or are meant to process and deal with. And that is a famous line from one of my very favorite vets, Dr. Brim. Used to say that a lot when she would be educating clients, and so I've stolen it. And I get to because she ruined me against commercialized pet food for the rest of my life. So fair is fair. So what kind of diet should cats eat? Cats are true carnivores, or obligate carnivores. That means they cannot process, their bodies cannot process anything other than meat, animal flesh. That's what their bodies are designed to eat and digest. Anything else is not good for them and is going to cause issues, whether it's in the immediate or down the road. You flash forward with my cats. Dr. Claw has IBD, irritable bowel disorder, and Bach has renal failure. So, you know, definitely we end up seeing the effects of these things at some point in life. And there are some cats that can eat kibble their entire lives and be okay, just like there are some people that can smoke 2 packs a day and eat terribly and never exercise and this, that, and the other, and you know, they die at 102 of a shark attack or something crazy. You know, it happens. But if we want to be feeding our cats a diet that is what they are meant to eat, and not cleaning up piles of vomit every single day off your carpet that never really comes out all the way, then it's really important that we feed them the diet that their bodies are meant and able to break down and digest. Cats are becoming chronically dehydrated. Kibble in and of itself is highly processed. I can't even explain. It would be an entirely another 2-hour thing to talk about how they process kibble. So first of all, with 99% of the kibbles that you're gonna get, they are not gonna be just meat. They're not gonna just be the animal flesh. You're gonna have grains, fruits, veggies, whatever, starches mixed in there as well. And then through the processing part of that, all of the good nutrients and everything get zapped right out of it. So then they're adding in additional nutrients. I would highly recommend you look at the bag of your food that you're feeding and look at the ingredients. And if you're seeing anything other than meat, then it's probably not a good diet. Kibble in and of itself is also dehydrating. Cats by nature, the way they were built, the way they were designed, they could sit at a bowl of water and do nothing but drink all day and still not consume the amount of water they need to support their bodies. And the reason for this is that they get their moisture, their water, from their kills. We're like 70% water in our bodies, right? And so that's where they get their moisture from. Because they are obligate carnivores, or true carnivores, that's how their body's designed to get that moisture. So they're not getting the moisture because that's not what they're eating. They're eating a kibble, and then kibble in and of itself dehydrates the body. Now we have chronic dehydration, leading to many things, probably the primary one being renal disease, kidney failure. So what do I feed? What do I recommend feeding? Raw and only protein, only the meat. I know for many of us, and me included, it's not possible for us to do our own raw. And if you were to go that route, I would highly recommend doing a lot of research. Either way, you want to do your research. You want to look at the food that you want to feed and make sure it's a good food. I feed a freeze-dried raw, so it comes in these little dehydrated pellets. The freeze-drying process is kind of nice because it seals in all of the nutrients and all the good stuff, and it makes it easy for me. So I just, dish out their food, add some water to hydrate it, rehydrate it, and serve. Some of the companies that I like out there as far as their freeze-dried raw product, but I've noticed with some of those cat foods, they're putting in other things besides the protein source. They're adding in cranberries and sweet potatoes and things like that. So you really want to look at that bag of ingredients. Right now I'm feeding the Stella and Chewies. They have a freeze-dried raw. Seems to be working really well. Doesn't have all the other garbage in it. But do your research. I like Sojos for my cat or for my dog, but then when you look at their cat formula ones, at least so far the ones I'm finding, they've got other stuff in there with the cats. So in cats, they really are that obligate carnivore. They really need just the protein source. So if your cat is vomiting, number one thing, get them to the vet. Gotta figure out what's going on. There's probably going to be other ways that you can support their body besides, just the diet change and that they may also need. If they have IBD, there's vitamins and supplements you can give to help with that irritable bowel disease and help get some inflammation out of that gut. A lot of disorders with the gut is going to be an inflammatory response. That's from the diet, and it's going to take a lot of time, and they may need that support forever. If your pet's not on a probiotic, get them on a probiotic. Probiotics are so important. And behavioral issues as well can be explained by the diet that we're doing with cats. So in nature, think about what a cat does. A cat hunts its prey, catches its prey, eats its prey, and moves on with the day. We're putting down a bowl of kibble and saying, here, have your cat McDonald's to eat whenever you want throughout the day. So now we're developing these stress eating issues as well, where maybe your cat's GI system's okay, maybe they don't have renal disease, maybe nothing else is really going on. They vomit because they sit there and they're eating and eating and eating and eating this food, and then they regurge and just barf it back up. How many people have seen that? Yeah. So those scheduled feedings are super important. Getting them back into that primal, natural mindset so that they're no longer feeling that they can just eat whenever and they're completely unbalanced emotionally and physically. Having that twice a day feeding routine about the same time, getting them into a heated play session before you feed. I personally am a huge fan of the Jackson Galaxy toys, and he has the air wand and the ground wand teasers. Get them in that heated play session, get them worked up, don't let them catch the toy, don't let them catch it, their prey, until you're ready to feed. After they're worked up, then they catch it, now it's time to go eat. You're resetting their minds back into their natural state to help them become more at peace with their environment and with everything. So you're feeding, carnivore diet, getting them back into that natural state. Now all of a sudden we're going to have a serious decrease in some of these behavioral issues that you may be seeing. Not gorging, eating, barfing. And then, other benefits too. You can have some weird aggression issues with cats a lot of times, or weird territorialness. That's all from being out of balance. Just getting them back into that balance can make all the difference in the world. All the difference in the world. And the probiotics, again, really help that gut, really help that GI health. Especially, for any pets, but especially if they have been on diets that, are not the ideal diet until you're starting to change it. Remember, always do slow change, especially with cats. They don't like change. They don't handle it well, particularly if you were feeding a kibble and you try to just switch over to a raw diet, a raw freeze-dried diet, or any kind of raw diet. You may have some protesting going on. Cats are the one species that we've domesticated, that we have seen, will literally starve themselves to death in protest of their food. I can tell you from personal experience, Dr. Claw, my little brown tabby who's around here somewhere, I don't know where he is, it took probably a year to get him onto this diet. So I had to initially start with wet food, and he's always been a picky eater, but I had to put him on wet food for a bit. and basically he was getting the kibble with some of the wet food. And then I started backing off his amounts of kibble and increasing the wet. That took a very long time to get him to be okay with the fact that he was only getting wet food and no kibble. A very long time. As soon as he got onto the wet food, then my switch to the raw went pretty quick. And I was able to start mixing that in with the wet food and backing off the wet till he was just on that. But it was him letting go of the kibble was a struggle. So it's necessary to have some patience. I think Dr. Claw's probably more stubborn about feeding than most cats, but cats can be stubborn creatures. They're creatures of habit. They don't like change, especially with their food, and so it can take some time. Also, remember, the kibble literally is like the McDonald's of, I call it the McDonald's of cat food, because it is. It's full of carbs and all the things, which leads to obesity and diabetes and all these other issues that we have with cats. And so, you know, they don't want to let that McDonald's go. It's good, right? Yum, all those carbs. So it can take some time. There's other nutrient supplements and things that you can do as well to help with their GI systems. You know, my cats get RX vitamins for pets. They have the Nutrigest and digestive enzymes. I do Neems for Red, so I do a couple of different things for them. But the best thing you can do for your cat, feed them the diet that their bodies were designed to eat. Carnivore. They just need meat. I know that seems weird to us, but that's balance to them. Their bodies are not able to handle this other stuff that we're giving them. So if we give them what they need, less likely to spend money on vet bills in the long run, and they're going to have a better life, better future, and you're not going to be cleaning barf up off the carpet all the time, because who likes that? It's not fun. So many carpets ruined. Promise, if I can do it with my cats, you can do it too. Well, if you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments and I will try to respond to you.